And I'm the real Ted G. And welcome to my podcast, the Real Ted G Podcast. I have Bing, my producer.
Hello, sir.
Hello, on camera and on the microphone. And we have a fun topic today. Probably the City of Lights. Wait, is that right?
That's
maybe not. Maybe
not
that's Paris. No, that's the City of Love.
City of Lights is Chicago.
Chicago. Wow, that's the city with the big bean.
And a lot of shootings.
I love Chicago. I love Chicago. I've been there twice, but only
Really?
once in the fun part of Chicago with all the, like everything you could visit, the bean that I talked about. I love seeing on doors, no guns past this point. I was like, wow, who has a gun? What is this, Texas?
Texas is the north, baby.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, enough about Chicago. We're talking about, wait,
Las
is it really
Vegas.
not the City of Lights?
No, Las Vegas. I don't know what
Viva
is-
Las Vegas.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
What is the nickname for Las Vegas? Sin City.
That was too easy. I don't know why I can't remember that. Now, technically, that must refer to the fact that prostitution is legal, but it's actually legal in
And
one
gambling.
area, right? Oh, and gambling. Oh, yeah. But prostitution is legal in one specific area. I don't believe it's like legal in all of Nevada.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the red. It's the something the red light district.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I've been to Vegas twice. Have you ever been to Vegas?
No, never.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I went there twice. First experience was typical. You go to Las Vegas. It was for a convention.
Okay.
So, but when you're at a convention for work, there's always time to play. And I did gamble a little bit. I had oh gosh, that one was the most fun gambling because I was up. I was up by a lot, and by a lot I mean for me at the time, I think. This is gonna be so horrible to relive. I remember not knowing anything about gambling.
Oh no.
Because I know how to play blackjack, and I
Okay.
just barely know how to play, Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
Poker, I know the general rules, but I'm not going to say that I know how to play poker. And it was we were playing roulette. What's the game that has black and red? Odds and evens.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff.
I hope. Gosh, this is how bad a gambler I am. So, but one of my secretaries at the time had mentioned. They said you always stick to one color, and do numbers. And they had given me like
Cheat sheet.
yes or no. Maybe it wasn't. Gosh, I can't even remember the name. But it's whatever game is with black and red chips and numbers and everything. And they have there's a bet that it only comes out like it's like a 1,000 to 1, and it happened while I was at the table, and it was the only time I didn't think of. I was like, I don't know why I wanted the double zeros. I was like, I feel like the double zeros. So anyway, I'm doing good because I'm sticking to one color. I can't even tell you if it was black or red. I'm with a couple of colleagues. And one of them, she was great. She actually knew a little more about the game than I did, of course. And we were up. We had to be up over. I can't remember if it was $6,000 or $7,000.
You didn't tap out?
And I didn't start with a huge investment. I just kind of said, okay.
I'll throw $20.
I was just about to say, okay, and we just said, listen, this is it. This is the last bet. Okay. Was it a good bet?
Oh no, you lost everything.
I lost all winnings. I didn't. So I think I had started with maybe I couldn't tell you if I started with like $500 at the table. So,
Wow.
But I think I had probably kept my initial investment. I try to do that. Let's keep
At
this,
least keep the initial
let's keep
investment.
the poker chips. But yes, we were up by a lot.
Wow.
And, it was
Now,
fun.
now, did you have a hangover experience in Las Vegas, like the Hangover movies, or?
No, didn't get that wild. And there was now the second visit. So the first visit was very typical. I was like, wow, they really do mean a dry heat. And it was a fun, little bit of gambling, a show. Oh, we went to a great show. One of those kind of shows, showgirls shows.
Oh, showgirl show.
So it was fun. It was a nice experience, and then about 2 years later, I revisit Vegas for I think it was probably the same brand convention, but it was another convention. But this time around, it was a little bit different. It was a little more on the recruiting side. I think our brand ambassador or our brand recruiter had said, "Oh, we want to come to this other dinner because we want to they were wining and dining different companies from all over the country to join the franchise, and some of them were very large companies. I met one gentleman. He grew his office, real estate office, of course, and he grew it from I think it was 20 licenses to 200 licenses in a matter of a year, I believe.
Wow.
So phenomenal growth. I mean, I just can't even imagine keeping tabs on so many agents. So that was cool, but it was a different kind of crowd that I was with. So what, we actually visited a dispensary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So now, up until this point, I had smoked pot once in my life in college. No, I'm not even kidding.
Just once?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I blew my brains out with pot.
Oh, I've done blow.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so pot wasn't your drug of choice. You'd like to be, boom, out in public.
And I only did that like twice in my life.
Coke?
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I did it on the first trip to Vegas.
Oh, my God.
Wait, is there a problem that I'm disclosing stuff like this?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, like literally twice in my life. I'm actually my absolute drug of choice is, life.
Life. Yeah, I like life and caffeine.
I can't even say I'm addicted to caffeine.
Really?
Now my drug of choice is exercising.
Dude, gym is great. I wish they had wish there was gym culture in Las Vegas instead of drugs.
I wanted to. The first trip to Vegas, I was like, oh, I'm going to definitely visit the CrossFit in Vegas. By the way, the CrossFit in Vegas was the most visited CrossFit in the world, in the country. Like, because when you're you could drop into a class and it doesn't even cost you money. It's like the first class is free and stuff. So I remember knowing that, and I did not visit because it was not a morning kind of thing.
No.
So I wanted to, but I did not. And then I wanted to visit at Orange Theory most recently, where I went last year in Arizona, but I did not.
Wait,
but yes,
I have a question about Vegas. What is the weirdest thing you saw on both of your trips to Vegas? What am I looking at? What am I experiencing?
What did I? There was one thing that I wanted to do the second time, and we ran out of time that evening.
Okay.
They do a zip line because there's Old Vegas and there's Vegas where so Vegas there's the what is that? We stayed at the Luxor the first year. Those are the newer hotels, the larger hotels, the Bellagio, the Luxor. Maybe I went to Vegas 3 times. I remember the Bellagio. Okay, so those hotels, those high, the ones you see in movies. But there's original Vegas, Old Vegas, which is the Old Vegas Strip. And I'm not an expert, but it was really a fun time. Like that, they still had old school slot machines.
Oh, nice.
You had to visit. So it was nice to visit. And then at night, that part of Vegas has a zip line that you could zip line across Old Vegas, that's why I call it the City of Lights. I'm almost positive that somehow it was like the corridor, the outdoor corridor. So I had signed up for it, but we ran out of time.
The City of Lights is Paris as well.
Oh, it's Paris. Oh, maybe I'll tell you about Paris next year's podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I never went yet, but we'll put it on my agenda.
Oh, Las Vegas is also another city of lights, known for its dazzling casinos, hotels, and entertainment.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that always boggles my mind and has always boggled my mind, since we have solar energy, why the hell isn't the City of Lights powered by solar since it's right next to a fucking desert?
I think because Nevada doesn't care about green energy.
Doesn't anyone care about saving money?
Would it really save money though?
I believe so. I think the initial cost may be high, but I think the overall the fact that you could power a city from the sun so conveniently, a city that needs so much power.
That makes sense. And they also need a lot of water. Actually, they should be doing that because they rely on the Hoover Dam for electricity, and the Hoover Dam's almost dried up.
Yes. Oh, saw the Grand Canyon.
You saw the Grand Canyon? Okay.
First trip there, did the Helicopter. Yeah, no, I did the helicopter ride twice. Nope, I had to miss the helicopter ride the first time because I had a class to be at. The second time I did the helicopter ride, it's very amazing. I actually had never been in a helicopter. I didn't, sometimes there could be stomach problems, but actually, no, I prevailed. It was very interesting. It's so noisy. That's why you wear those earphones, headphones. Helicopter ride, the Grand Canyon, an amazing thing. And to be able to see it. What I really wanted to do, most recently, I was actually in Arizona, in Phoenix, and I was thinking I was going to try to make an excursion for my crew. Well, we did the ATV rides, the ATV, mountain ride, whatever it was. We did that instead. But what I wanted to do was to drive out to the Grand Canyon and take the donkey ride down to the Grand Canyon, stay there. They have like the little, not resort, but it's a hotel. You could actually stay at the Grand Canyon. So the Grand Canyon, a natural wonder of the world, amazing. But you said something weird. I mean, it was really cool. The people that are just around in Vegas. The only thing that I admit most recently, because I started watching, I had watched a show about a comic or something, and it was based in Vegas. And what I remember when I was watching that show, I was like, there is an element of, I hate to say it, that element of despair and depression.
You were talking to me about that a few days ago. What's that like? What do you mean?
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in Vegas. It's great, but you could sometimes, if you have a little bit of I guess maybe I apparently have an empathic personality or something. So you could feel like the lack, a certain emptiness. It's amazing to feel that in the city that has so much going on. Like, it's so much energy, so much.
It's a lot of debaucherous energy, like a lot of negative energy.
I guess it is, but I mean, why does it have to be negative? I mean, so anyway, the dispensary,
because prostitution, drugs, drinking, gambling, everything of
so
lust.
All these things are bad.
Lust and excess, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, if you look at it from a biblical standpoint, there's a reason why there's sins. There's a reason why it's called Sin City. It's a negative. They're low energy activities. Or if you just look at it from like the secular point of view, it's there's a lot of high hope and then depression.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I agree, because I felt it, and it's a great city to visit, and it feels good when you leave. It's like, oh, good, back to normal life.
Back to normal life.
That could be true for any convention, but Vegas is on such a scale.
Well, I've never been to Vegas, so I can't. But so I'm just going off of your experience with that feeling. Like, if you look to it, like I don't know, like even if I can imagine feeling pretty empty and depressed after having sex with a prostitute or going to a strip club where it's like, oh yeah, I have a girl, and it's like, oh no, I actually have to pay for that. Or if I had like $10,000 in winnings and I'm like, I got one more bet in me, and then you lose it all, then drinking and drugs are natural depressants. So, I could totally see it being a depressing, and then you're in the middle of a desert, like there's nothing, it's just death. Like,
I guess if you view it that way. So would I revisit Vegas for a convention? Maybe. It's a great draw, but I will say that I think if you focus on the fun, and when you gamble, you should always gamble what you're prepared to lose. That's why it's called gambling. And I think that when you enjoy the show, like the second time, I didn't do any gambling. I didn't have time. There was no moment of such a lull that said, let me go to a casino at 3 a.m. There was so much other stuff to do. I visited a dispensary, and that was really fun. I was amazed. It felt like an Apple store to me.
Really?
It's crazy.
When did you go to the dispensary? Like, was this recent?
So that would have been, I'll tell you the year. So it was, I could tell you the year. I believe 2006. It was 2016 or 17.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely before 2018. So it was not 2018. Correct.
Okay.
So that's the second time. Visited the dispensary, checked out a dispensary. In other words, I was just so amazed at how clean it was. I would, like I said, that was the second time I had enjoyed the marijuana.
The marijuana.
Is that what it's called?
It's very interesting how looking at dispensaries. It's a very different experience. I visited a few.
How are they in the rest of the country? Or where have you visited?
Locally, more like CBD dispensaries, because
Okay.
the marijuana dispensaries proper in New York haven't necessarily been open
Oh no,
yet.
the laws they change, and that there's,
Well,
there's
now-
a lot
now-
going on with that industry right now.
Yeah, so now if you want to buy actual cannabis legally, there's like 2 or 3 actual marijuana dispensaries in New York. But the CBD dispensaries operate the same way as a regular one would, and it's a complete experience. They have different levels of CBD, and they have different levels of this and that.
Product line.
Product line.
It's a very intricate process.
It is.
The growing of marijuana. I actually do. I am aware of it. I had clients that were in that business.
Really?
So it was very interesting from California.
And then you couldn't put all the money in a bank though. You had to keep it in cash to yourself. Because here's the thing, at the federal level, it's still illegal.
Correct.
So banks can't house that money because they're backed by the federal government.
Yeah.
So because they're backed by the federal government, and there's like a up to $250,000 fee to get reimbursed if something goes wrong, they can't house any marijuana money. So that all has to be in cash.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of these farmers
Like a steakhouse.
yeah, steakhouse.
Some steakhouses don't take credit cards.
Seriously,
Yeah, some high-end steakhouses.
why?
I don't know. The last time I was at Peter Luger's, I don't believe they took credit cards. And,
What's Peter Luger?
it's a very nice steakhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it local?
I think Garden City.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that considered New York City or is that Long Island?
Garden City is Long Island.
Oh, yeah. You guys could tell I don't leave Suffolk County.
Yeah, it's technically Nassau County.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it's just barely out of
I don't even go to Western Suffolk except like once a week now. I go to Lindenhurst, but other than that, like I barely go to
Yeah.
Western.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I literally stay from like Mastic to Bayshore, and that's like my area. I don't even go to the North Shore. I like literally I am South Shore only
Oh wow.
in a lot of like my social.
I like the social. I mean, I like the South Shore.
I do too,
Yeah,
but I need to explore more.
Yes, but yeah, to travel up north, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But
Yeah.
for our business, I obviously do. But yeah, so anyway, back to Vegas. I liked it. What did you want to ask me something about Vegas?
I want to know.
I wouldn't stay
we
there
only
for
got-
more than 4 days.
We only got 2 minutes. So what? Okay, final question for you. What are the people like in Vegas?
Oh, I found everyone to be so friendly.
Really?
Yeah, could be me.
Well, are they kind of like they're not like stuck up like in Miami or in New York? They're still friendly.
I didn't find the people in Miami to be stuck up either.
You did it?
No, and New York.
City?
Nobody talks bad about New York.
I
love New
do.
York.
I hate the city.
I love New York. I walk around. I love the city. People,
Really?
Some people are afraid to walk around the city. Remember those days? And well, I don't know. I've heard different.
I
things.
wouldn't get on the Long Island Railroad without a gun. There's
Well, now that
no
they've cleaned it up, I used to. The only thing I didn't like about the Long Island Railroad to go in and out of the city was that the railroad and the subways were kind of dirty. So if you wore like whiter pants, light colored pants, or a light colored jacket, I had this light tan leather jacket, and I'm like, what the hell happened to it? And it was like I was sitting on the subway, and I was like, damn it! And then I had to get
That's
dry cleaned.
disgusting.
Yeah, just dirty. So I will say that, but I believe they did clean all the subways. They've cleaned, and for the first time in 70 years, so there were some good things that came out of COVID.
That is true.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember-
but anyway, back to Vegas. No, I found the people. I found the people nice. Like even a casino. I mean, you try not to be a burden. Where you don't know how to play. So, but you make sure you go to like a table where you see that there's not like hardcore gamblers that are going to just get pissed at you because you're like, oh yeah, hit me. You hit on like 19 in blackjack, and it's like, why would you even hit on 19? And then you spoiled someone else's game, and I was like, oh, sorry. So yeah, so I don't pretend to be a gambler.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Vegas, it's a great place to visit, and it's an even more pleasant place to leave and come home. But it really is that there is a second side to it that if you're not too careful, you could really feel that vibe, and kind of like can be a little depressing.
Well, speaking of leaving and departing, we do have to leave and depart this
I
episode.
guess that calls it a day.
It does.
I'm the Real Ted G. Find me on Find the
Spotify.
Real Ted G podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.